Good morning everybody, my name is Divya and I will be host for today's episode of Believe It or Not. Last week we looked at facts from Europe. This week we're going to explore facts in Latin America. So today our two contestants, Sasha and Anna, will be pitted against each other in a competition to figure out which facts are true and identify the false fact out of a sample of 5 facts. So get ready for today's exciting episode.
Hi, I'm Anna. I'm from Warsaw and I'm a teacher at primary school and I'm very interested in Latin America, so I hope I will win this contest. And well, I'm pretty excited.
Hello, my name is Sasha. I'm from Tashkent and I know all about Latin America, and today I'm winner.
Today on Believe It or Not, you have met our contestants, Sasha and Anna. So contestants will be given 5 facts. Out of the 5 facts, they have to figure out which is the false fact. The first one to push this buzzer gets to answer first. If the answer is correct, they get 3 points. So the winner will of course be the one with the most points. So to give you a slight taste, we will start off with the simple Colombia genre questions. In this set, there will only be 3, unlike the 5 that we will have in rest of the rounds. So out of these 3, identify the false fact. The first one to push the buzzer wins. So the 3 facts are, first of all, in Colombia there is a river of death and life, which is red and green. It may cause illness or cure. The second fact is alcohol is actually not allowed at football matches in Colombia. The third fact is in Colombia, throwing gold into a river can actually bring happiness. So which is the false fact?
Okay, so I don't believe in the first fact. I think that it's not true because I don't believe in magic rivers, so I think it's a lie.
You are absolutely right. That is actually the false answer. The part of the river is actually red because of algae, and that part may burn the skin, but it's green. The green part can actually soothe the skin. So you're absolutely right. Moving on to our next question. We have 5 interesting facts. The first one is that Chile actually has territorial claims in Antarctica. The second fact is Brazil has the most airports in the world. The third fact is Bolivia's North Yungas Road is actually considered one of the most dangerous roads in the world. The fourth fact is Puerto Rico actually has more than 270 miles of beaches. Lastly, our 5th fact is Venezuela actually has its own time zone. So which is the false fact?
I know first. And I think information about Venezuela to fake.
Okay, that is incorrect. Would you like to answer, Anna?
Well, maybe the fact about the airports in Brazil is not true. I guess it hasn't got, the biggest number of airports in the world.
Anna, you are right. So Brazil is actually not the country that has the most airports in the world. You get 2 points for that. Next question. The first fact is Panama actually uses the American dollar as its currency. Secondly, Chile actually has the most number of newspaper journalists in the world. The third fact is France was actually the first country to attempt to build the Panama Canal in the 1800s. The fourth fact is that the volcano in Ecuador actually has the highest peak if measured from the center of the Earth's surface. The 5th fact is that it's impossible to swim through the Panama Canal.
Hi first. I know. It is possible to swim across the Panama Canal.
Yes, this is true. Let me explain. The famous Panama Channel changes for passage by weight. When American inventor Richard Hamilton decided to swim through the channel, he paid the lowest price in history, a total of 36 cents for his full body weight of 130 pounds.
Okay. Well done, Sasha, you are right, and for that you earn 3 points. Now for third set of questions, we have another 5 facts. The first of which is Guatemala is actually the first Latin American country to order femicide as a punishable crime. The second fact is the country who has won the most number of FIFA World Cups is Argentina. The third fact is Ecuador is the first country in the world to grant constitution right to Mother Nature. The fourth fact is Cuba actually has a lower infant mortality rate than the US. The fifth fact is, by law, Paraguay is the only bilingual Latin American country. So, which is false?
I don't know.
Okay, so I think that the fact with the FIFA World Cup is not true because I guess that's the Brazil one.
Are you sure that is correct? Is it Brazil or Argentina who won the most number of FIFA World Cups? Let's see. Well, Anna, you are right. Brazil actually has won the most number of FIFA World Cups, so that fact about Argentina is actually a fake.
Let me discuss about Guatemala fact. This period is a feminist law. Guatemala is one of the countries with the most feminism in the world.
For that, you get 3 points, and you, Anna, are currently in the lead. Well, that's a set of questions. We begin with the first question. Colombia is actually ranked as the happiest country in the world. Is that true? Second fact is, the least peaceful country in the world is Colombia. The third fact is, toilet paper can never be flushed down toilets in Latin America. It has to be disposed in bins. The fourth fact is, Latin America countries are considered some of the happiest worldwide. The last fact is, the most corrupt country in South America is Cuba. So which of those are false?
Okay, so I think that Colombia can be the least peaceful country in the world. I think that it must be somewhere in Africa or I don't know, elsewhere.
Okay, that is unfortunately not the right answer, Anna. Sasha, do you know what the right answer is?
No, I don't know.
Okay, since both of you don't know the answer, unfortunately nobody gets any points for this round. The correct answer is actually that the most corrupt country in the world is not Cuba, but it's actually Venezuela in Latin America. So I hope you learned a bit about that. Moving on to our next set of questions. The first one, there are only less than 10 indigenous tribes in the Brazilian Amazon forest. Second fact, up to 5% of Peru's population is actually Chinese or has Chinese origin. The third fact is the largest Japanese city outside of Japan is actually Sao Paulo in Brazil. The fourth fact is there are actually more languages and dialects within the Mexican border than all over Europe. Last fact, Peru is actually home to more than 80% of the world's population of alpacas.
I don't believe Peru has many Chinese.
Unfortunately, that is not the right answer. Anna, do you know the right answer?
I'm sure that in Brazil there are more than 10 tribes.
Okay, once again, Anna, you are right. There are more than 70 indigenous tribes in the Brazilian Amazon forest. So, as of such, you get 2 additional points. Unfortunately, Sasha, you get no points for this round. Let's do a point tally as of now. Anna, you have 7 points. Congratulations. Sasha, you are not too far behind at 3 points, so work hard to catch up. Okay, now we will take a short commercial break, but do not change your channel. Stay tuned to see who will win $10,000 this week.
For this segment, we would like to promote the Center of Latin America Studies. It's one of the best faculty and more interesting in Warsaw University. Of course, you should definitely take its mass media in Latin America. It was one of the best courses ever. So come on down to our faculty to find out more information, and we invite your application.
Okay, moving on to our 6th set of facts. Number 1. El Salvador is considered the smallest country of Central America. Number 2. In Latin America, there are streets that are named after dates, such as the 8th of October 2015. The third fact is Cubans are actually big consumers of Korean soap operas. The fourth fact is Costa Rica actually does not have an army. The fifth fact is that the cell phone density in El Salvador is so high that there are 2 cell phones for every person. So which is a fake?
I think the cell phone fact of
Right. That fact about cell phones in El Salvador is an exaggeration. El Salvador does have the largest cell phone density in the world, but it is not 1 to 2. The ratio is not 1 to 2. Rather, it is 135 cell phones for every person. So you are right. Congratulations, you get 3 more points, Sasha. Okay, for our next set of questions, the first one. In Latin America, liquids such as soda or coffee are often sold in plastic bags. The second fact, Brazil is actually the world's largest exporter of coffee, orange juice, as well as sugar. The third fact is potatoes were actually first domesticated in Peru before being exported to Europe. The fourth fact is that coffee is actually the most traded commodity in the world, with Latin America being the largest regional producer of coffee. The fifth fact is, in Mexico, worms are actually fermented in tequila. Oh, since you both pressed the buzzer at the same time, I will listen to both your answers before telling you which is the right one. So, who wants to go first?
I will be first. I don't think there are worms in tequila.
Okay, what is your answer?
I think that the fact about coffee is not true. Well, it seems fake.
Okay, well, it is true that Latin America is the largest regional producer of coffee. However, I remember saying coffee is the most traded commodity in the world. That is not true. Coffee is actually the most traded commodity in the world after oil. So that was a trick question. So Anna, you are right. You get an additional 3 points for this round. For our next set of questions. Number 1. The equator runs through South America across Ecuador, Colombia and Brazil. Number 2. The Amazon rainforest produces up to 50% of the world's oxygen levels. Number 3. Mexico City sinks at least a foot every year. Number 4. The Amazon River is the only one that can be seen from outer space. Number 5. The largest salt flats are in Bolivia, covering over 12,000 square kilometers.
Okay, so I think that the fact about the amazing river, well, may not be true. I think that Nile can also be clearly visible from the outer space. I guess so.
Okay, well, that is unfortunately the wrong answer. Sasha, what is your answer?
I think fact about Mexico City is fake.
Okay, unfortunately both facts are wrong. The truly false fact is actually the one that says the Amazon River produces more than 50% of the world's oxygen. That is an exaggerated fact. It merely produces about 20%. Of course, that's a large figure and it's amazing how the Amazon River can do that, don't you think? Moving on to our second last question for this episode. It actually rains fish every year in the Honduras. Number 2. In the last 30 years, Venezuela has won more beauty titles than any other country in the world. Number 3. The Dominican Republic was actually selected as the most preferred golf destination in the world. Number 4. McDonald's has actually established a presence in all Latin America states. Number 5. Hand gestures such as OK sign in Brazil can actually be considered rude and can be the equivalent of giving someone the middle finger. So which is a fake?
I don't think McDonald's in every state.
Well done, Sasha, that is absolutely right. You just won 3 points. Because Bolivia is actually the first Latin American country to get rid of McDonald's. The people believe that buying burgers from the street is a lot better than the westernized and commercialized model of McDonald's. So, as of this stage, Sasha, you have a whopping 9 points. Anna, you have 10 points. So in this final round, this final question, this is the deciding factor to determine who wins, believe it or not, this episode, and who wins the 10,000 US dollars. Number one, Argentina was actually the first country in the world to use fingerprints as an identification method in solving crimes. Number two, Mexican Carlos Slim has actually been ranked the richest person on earth in 2015. Number three, a Mexican chemist was actually the first to invent contraceptive pills. Number four, Argentina is the first Latin American country to legalize gay marriage. Number five, former President Jose Mujica of Uruguay was one of the poorest presidents because he gave 90% of his income to charities. So, which is the fake?
Well, I think that the richest man on earth is Bill Gates, and no one from Mexico.
Well, you are absolutely right, Anna. That fact is false. Yes, the explanation is, however, that Mexican Carlos Slim was actually the richest man in 2013, and as of 2015, he is actually the second richest man. You're right. The richest man is Bill Gates, so congratulations.
Thank
you have won, believe it or not, for this episode. So, this $10,000 is yours.
Thank you. Alright.
And that is it for this episode of Believe It or Not, the Latin American version. So today, Anna went home as a lucky winner. If you believe you can be on this game show, call us at this number and send in your video audition, and we'll see. Stay tuned for the next episode of Believe It or Not. Okay, the next week's episode is gonna be Believe It or Not in Asia. So we have two new contestants, Balik and Asha, who will be actually here today vying for the top $10,000 prize. So stay tuned next week for another episode of Believe It or Not. Thank you and goodbye.
Oh no.